Hello there, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike. Razzle Joestar here, bringing you a tale from the ye old west. I don't know why I'm talking like that, I just kind of started doing it. Besides, this would be a tale from the north, as a Canadian made this game. Welcome to another edition of Major Minor, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike. For those of you who came in late, we're gonna throw up a little card up there that you can click and watch the first episode to get caught up. But if you don't feel like seeing through 50 minutes of nonsense, basically what happened was this. We were taken to this weird dream place called the Ark, where we met a mysterious man from the Ark. If you know his name, don't spoil it. And he gave us some special powers in exchange for us serving him. We then went back to this place called Reality on Earth, where we're on a train to Tokyo. Apparently, we won a contest of Popstar. It was a special promotion being put out by none other than Klace himself. So we won one of the lucky two cans, and we get the tour with him. We also met up with Keela, who's the other contestant. And now me, him, Rook, the guy who's meeting us at the train station to link us with the rest of the tour group, are gonna go party up down in Akihabara while arrangements are being made. Meanwhile, on another planet, we saw a plot unravel where a fellow named Lord Player was trying to become mayor of a fantasy world named Terra, but it was revealed that he may not be so noble, or maybe he is, because a second cutscene shortly after showed that he was set up in the previous scene. So, we'll just see how everything turns out. I mean, I kind of already know how things turned out because I'm doing a second run of this. But anyways, enough of my jibber-jabbering. I'm going to have to actually probably start putting, like, little notifications. I'll do that. I'll have, like, a little thing on screen that'll say, like, go fast forward to here if you want to watch the actual video. So, people know how far ahead this skips, so don't have to listen to me jibber-jabber about things. Anyways, let's go and do things. Before I stepped out of the limo, I was scared. Oops. Rook didn't exactly instill us with confidence. However, upon seeing Akihabara, that all changed. Oh man, I should probably turn that off. I've looked at pictures before, seen things online. But like with anything else, pictures don't suffice. Well, what do you think? It's stunning! I almost don't believe it. It's prettier than I could have ever imagined. So where are you taking us? I noticed that Rook quickly scurries off, the rascal. Is he running away? Yes, he's running away from all of his problems like everybody else in this game. Actually, I don't think everybody's running from their problems, but anyways. Well, you two can decide, right? So Rook and myself have decided for you. We're going to a place called Arcadia. If I have to deal with splicers, I'm not interested. Bonus points if you catch that reference. There's all manner of video games there. They specialize in old arcade cabinets, too. Wow! Old arcade cabinets. That sounds familiar. I wonder what kind of dashing darling fellow specializes in old school arcade games. No, I would name them if I could just place my paw on it, but I don't know, guys. I might need some help with that. Arcadia? Wow, I read about that place. It's supposed to be retro gaming heaven. You flatter me, Keela, but you're right. Arcadia hasn't been without stumbles, though. The console and PC gaming advent was huge. No one wanted to go to an arcade anymore. You know what that means. Bankruptcy. Well, I mean, I think the arcade industry in Japan is still doing pretty well. She is talking about retro games, so I don't know how well retro games are doing in Japan, but I know like modern day games are doing decent enough, I guess. Oh, I didn't know about that. That must have been resolved, right? I mean, if it's still open today. Yeah, thanks to an anonymous donation. Someone with a big passion for gaming. I can neither confirm nor deny that it was me. I think you just confirmed it was you. Did I? Jade gives us both a slight wink. Keela shrugs, unsure of how to respond. Well, either way, it's still open, and the owners love their kind benefactor, enough to give them free reign of the place. But let's not start any rumors, shall we? Remember what Rook said about our tour. With the deaths, we're under scrutiny. People would shy away from those involved, and even those associated with them. I don't want Arcadia getting hurt again, so let's not waste any time getting there. We don't want to keep Rook waiting, and there's lots of fun to be had. Alright, I'm game. I have to say, this sounded cooler than the maid cafe, and Keela seems to enjoy our destination as well. She starts to lead the way and we follow. Jade leads us down the crowded streets of Akihabara. I could tell why they called it Electric Town. The streets and stores were brimming with light. But if it's nighttime. The background is date. Low production values. That's the answer. Kiddo seems astounded and can't stop looking around. Not much farther. It's pretty close. That's convenient. I thought it'd be farther away. The location must be good for business. Yeah, easily accessible. I'll of course have to check it out. You know, before they go to your end. It also stands out in its own unique way. You'll see when we turn the next corner. Sure enough, I see it when we turn the corner. It's not what I expected at all, to be honest. It's dull. Kilo was right. Every other building was so bright. But Arcadia was dull and inconspicuous. It almost looked like a shipping warehouse. Well, I hope I can change your mind, Kilo. Don't you know it's the inside that counts? I'll show you what they have to offer. She motions towards the door. After we slowly approach it, she opens it up, and our eyes behold Arcadia in all of its glory. Oh my god, it's stock image backgrounds. This entire game is stock. If you're wondering why everything's stock image backgrounds, I kind of like joked about it earlier, low production value. This game was made on a budget, wink wink nudge nudge, so a lot of the backgrounds are, in contrast to Winds of Change, just stock image backgrounds. There's a rumor going around that he ripped these off and didn't pay for them, but if you browse the game files you can see there's evidence that he didn't, that he actually paid for these if you trace sources. I believe the site watermarks stuff if you try to download it, so unless he has a really handy image editor. But anyways, let's not start rumors, shall we? Welcome to Arcadia. He says it quite loudly and with a dramatic well, that wasn't dramatic at all. Wait, is that why you came ahead in the first place? You won't turn out a dramatic interest, but that's odd. Thank me later. You're among the elite. You got a personal welcome to Arcadia. This here is our home away from home. Home away from home? Yeah, we pretty much live here, for the reasons I mentioned before. The only price you have to pay is cleaning. Well, mainly dusting. It's not that bad. Look, make sure to show them a good time. I have some things to tend to in my office. Oh, Joshua. Come see me before you leave. There's something I'd like to talk about. No rush, just make sure to come later on. She smirks at me before walking away. So, as you can see, this is heaven. Arcade cabinets as far as you can fathom. I notice that Rook is typing away on his tablet. He's talking to someone while talking to us? Again, his ability to multitask is outstanding. Wow! That's not even an understatement. Hey Rook, do you have Backroad Brawler too? Of course we do. We're not rookies. But I prefer the Turbo Edition, don't you? Is that so? Didn't take you to be hardcore, but if that's the case then at one-on-one, I know I could take you. Years of practice. It's out of order. Rip. What? Both of them? Unfortunately, yeah. I can get a little vigorous sometimes. The joysticks are in need of prompt repair. Jade doesn't want me going easy on her, so sometimes I get a little carried away. Even then, she's undefeated. Jade wins. Flawless victory. Fatality. I'm sorry, I had to. I mean, I'm pretty sure Shao Kahn can do it better. You can do it better. Calm down. Oh, that sucks. Indeed it does. But we have other options. Just follow me. I have a good one in mind. It's always a big hit with the tourists. We follow him as he leads us to a machine. In big letters it reads, UFO Claw Game. Is this one of those abduction simulators? These are staple at Japanese arcades. You have to win yourself a souvenir. Something to remember us by. We have these games back at home. They're just not themed around UFOs. Don't you just win little stuffed animals? They're almost always rigged. The claw doesn't support that much weight. Can we play something that takes skill? Wow, what a Debbie Downer. Hey, we don't rig games at Arcadia. This game is a pure measure of skill. It takes great spatial awareness. Spatial awareness, that's a good phrase. Besides, the animals inside are tiny. The claw can easily support their weight. And the claw has a UFO around it too. The game has its own motif. You're abducting the cute little animals. It'd be funny if like it was like a claw or some kind of like trap or something like that, and the little creatures look like little rabbit-like furry creatures with big long ears that potentially appeared in a old school retro-esque 2D indie game that has to do with the joke is Cave Story and Miminkas. Did you just say cute? There's something I never thought I'd hear. So who's going first? Let's have a contest. Rook immediately steps behind me and pushes me. I lose my balance and fall forward towards the machine. It seems he didn't want me to acknowledge what he said. Just play. Forget you heard anything. And besides, it's a fun little experience. You'll be helping this alien world out. You'll be helping this alien world out. It's almost like that was foreshadowing of some kind. I have no choice, so I proceed to play. Apparently, I'm an alien spacecraft abducting bears. Not the bears. It goes so far as to have a town named Teddyville. Now, I wonder if these are Berenstein bears or Berenstain bears. Well, this seems simple enough. Just need good aim. Keela and Rook watch me with extreme intensity. The music apparently is watching us with intensity as well. You'll think they were spectating an Olympic sport. My tongue slips out of my mouth as I get more precise. After lining up the claw, I press the red button. And I win! That was it? It was anticlimactic. It's kind of like fighting Majora with the fierce deity mask. It's kind of like Metal Slug when you're all like, alright, we're at the final mission of the final level, and the final boss is the enemy commander in a transport attack copter. Don't worry, kids, it gets better in Metal Slug 2. You have to take down an alien mothership. It drops my prize into a chute with some fanfare. Well, I guess I won myself a little teddy bear. That was extremely anticlimactic. This game really attracts the tourists. Congrats! Not many people win so easily. I'll have to push X for doubt on that one. Take the prize, you earned it. I nod and lean down, grabbing a small bear. It's extremely fluffy, but seems cheaply made. Almost like it could fall apart at any moment. And I guess that was pretty cool. Not as intense as other games, though. I wish those joysticks weren't broken. Well, that's life in an arcade. Most games are out of order. We don't have the luxury to pick and choose. Keep that toy safe, Joshua. You'll always remember winning big. Most people here leave empty-handed. I don't think this qualifies as winning big. In fact, I don't think it qualifies as winning at all. This isn't something I'd really want to keep. I wonder if maybe I should give it to Keela, or perhaps it would help deepen my bond with Rook. Either way, I don't think it should stay with me. What should I do with the toy? Let's give it to Keela, since I already burned him on the maid cafe, so I decided to give it to Keela. It makes sense after all. We want to go to maid cafe today. He should at least get something out of the trip. But before I can do anything, Rook's phone rings. His ears perk up and he promptly reaches for his pocket. Excuse me for a moment, this could be important. He leaves us by ourselves while he takes the call. Ghostbusters? No, that's answer the call, never mind. That was the first time today he left us alone. I expected him to be taking way more calls than that. He was definitely high up there in show business. So what do you think of this place? I think it's cool, but there's no food. Like, honestly, I'm famished. I nod in agreement as my stomach goes on to rumble. I don't think I've eaten in the last 12 hours. Of course, this was largely my fault. I denied service on the plane and on the train. I wonder if Jade has anything in her office. I remember that she wanted to see me before we left. It seems like I'd have to visit her now. Should I go see her? Or should I stay with Keela? I think we should see what Jade's up to. I let Keela know that I'm going to see Jade. He nods. I'm sure he understands. He has a whole arcade to entertain him while he waits. Probably for the best. Who knows how long Rook will be. I can try to win my own toy, I suppose. I smile and tell him there's no need. I take the bear out of my pocket and hand it to him. I let him know that I want him to have it instead. Keela is extremely happy. Wow, really? I nod and smirk. That's how you make an awesome exit. He beams with happiness as I walk away. I wander in the same general direction that Jade did. For a moment I'm scared. This place is massive, but eventually I find a large single stairway. This definitely leads to some sort of office space. I slowly ascend the staircase and open the door, only hoping that it leads to her office. I have a moment of doubt as I turn the knob. So much extra text. And I instantly see that I was right. When I enter, Jade turns to me with a smile. Hey there. Didn't expect you so soon. Sorry for not being ready to receive you. Ready to receive you, alright. Okay. I tell her that's fine. I tell her that's fine, and now I'm stuck narrating in Jade's voice. Rook is busy, so I decided to come and see her while I waited. I asked her what she wanted. Oh yeah, it says what he wanted to show me in private. It should be she. That's going into my gallery. Well, actually, I have some questions, but they might seem a little odd at first, so if you're open, please bear with me. She takes a deep breath before speaking, and surely enough, her question is odd. Do you believe in other worlds? You know, like parallel universes. I don't know what to say. I just stare at her dumbfoundedly. What kind of question is that? Well, let me explain it like this then. Let's say I flip a coin, and let's say it lands on heads. Do you believe there are other realities? For example, where it landed on tails? Again, I'm not sure what to say. I'll take that silence as a no. Well, allow me to continue. What if I flip it and hide the outcome? This is where it gets really interesting. Neither of us can observe the result, so it's both heads and tails at once. It's a Schrödinger's cat, basically. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with that idea, but Schrödinger's cat is this kind of philosophical question. It's if you have a cat in a box, it's both dead and alive until you open the box and see what the cat really is. Or philosophical, scientific, or whatever. Something like that, I believe. Until the result is revealed, we exist in both realities at once. The head's reality and the tail's reality. So, is this kind of like if I'm unsure how Berenstein is spelled. I'm pretty sure it's spelled Berenstein. We're both in the Berenstein and Berenstain reality until I look at... I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but there's a whole quote-unquote conspiracy theory where there's supposedly two alternate realities we keep going back and forth between, where it's the Berenstein Bears and the Berenstain Bear. It's pretty interesting. This proves the existence of more realities. We're able to place ourselves at an apex being like a fork in the road. I thought an apex was like a when you're making a turn and you hit like the like, you know, top part of that curve or whatever. But our car is stopped. We haven't yet taken our turn. We hold the ability to go either way. But there's much more at play here. These two possibilities spawn infinite ones. We can use this to predict other realities. A reality where you didn't come up here. A reality where Arcadia doesn't exist. Or one where you never even won the contest. You can expand more, it gets crazy. But we can't prove these don't exist, especially because of the coin toss theory. It's a thought experiment I created. I like to think about this in my spare time. I've won awards, but that's not the point. Awards from who? You must think this is all really weird. People can win awards for that? Well, sure they can, that's like fiction. You only need a logical consistency. That's part of why I love all this. It's all theory with no practice. I blink a few times at a loss for words. Oh, sorry, I must sound insane. I get that a lot when I talk about this. But it all makes sense, I promise. She moves to her desk and sits down. Oh, boy. I decide to sit down in the chair in front of her. She scatters a few papers across her desk. My studies are helping me find the truth. The truth about the Midnight Deaths. There's a deeper meaning here for sure. I know Rook told you all about them, and quite frankly, they make no sense. But that's why I'm attracted to them. It reminds me of my quantum mechanics. All I need is a logical line of thought. A reason for these deaths that makes sense. She pushes a newspaper clipping towards me. It's an article about one of the victims. This one here. He was shot to death. But there was no gun found in the area, and not even any evidence of a gunshot. It keeps getting weirder, my friend. Look here at the next victim. She places another newspaper clipping in front of me. This man hung himself, but there was no noose found, just the wounds from a rope around his neck. Maybe it was the Phantom of the Opera. I'm on fire today with my references. My reference game is hot right now. The crime scenes are contradictory. There's nothing about them that adds up. It's as if all the evidence just vanished. That really didn't make any sense. Well, for the murder, the corpse could have been moved, but for the suicide? That's where it gets tricky. You can't move after you're dead. Or can you? And there's another incident here. One I find incredibly interesting. Someone who survived the Midnight Deaths. She shows me one final newspaper clipping. He reported loss of breath, like he was being strangled to death, but it suddenly stopped and he lived. It matches the other hanging victim, no noose, and he didn't even own a rope. But this is where it gets really scary. His neck was injured, markings all around, just like the other victims, but he lived. Everything else matches up perfectly. This man gave a very detailed testimony. I want to use that to help free Klace. He shouldn't have to be under any sort of suspicion. I know these deaths started as we arrived, but he doesn't deserve any flack for this. I've been using his testimony to theorize. I just need to come up with something. Even if it seems very incredible in nature, one explanation is better than none at all. The kid doesn't deserve to be blamed. This is all completely out. It was very admirable of her. I'm sure he could come up with an explanation. The question is if anyone would believe it. The man who survived, he explained a very peculiar feeling. Something that happened during all of this. His mind was overtaken with memories. But these memories didn't belong to him. Well, they did, but not the same him. Now you know why I explained my theory. I want to relate it to his experience. And by extension, all of these deaths. These memories that took over his mind? I think they were from another reality. It'll make sense if I explain it a little more. What if another reality is colliding, like coming into contact with ours, and its content is superseding our own? It would align with his testimony. If someone is dead in the other reality, then maybe they die in this one too. I know it doesn't explain everything, but it gets the testimony that was given. It explains how no evidence was left behind. However, there's still holes. Why does this always happen at midnight? I haven't a clue. Same time each day. Sorry for going on a tangent there. What do you have to say about all this? I tell her it makes absolutely no sense, but at the same time it makes perfect sense as well. Sounds like what I deal with every day. There's so many thought experiments, you could lose yourself in them easily. I know it doesn't make much sense, but it also can't be proven wrong. That's why I find it so interesting. Interesting was an understatement. She was right though, I couldn't prove her wrong. She had a logical line of thought, as odd as it was. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm trying my hardest to save Klace. I don't want him under such scrutiny. It affects you as well. You also have to hide while you're here. There's a stigma attached to his name. I want everybody to be free. I don't think either party enjoys this. I thank her for her efforts, and for the interesting lesson as well. As weird as her theories were, she was sensible. I'll have to return to my studies for now. I feel I'm close to a breakthrough. But I thank you for your time, Joshua. She takes out her phone and places it on the table. Would you mind exchanging numbers? I'll be in touch if anything changes. Don't worry, I won't spam you. I oblige when we exchange information. You've got Jade's contact information. Cool, I look forward to never calling you. I leave her studies and go back downstairs. Rook and Keeler are nowhere to be found. I decide to ditch the arcade and look for them outside. Also, where the hell is Inumi? Like, excuse my French, but it's like, it just like occurred to me right now. I'm just like, did we just forget he existed? Like, I mean, this is like a problem you get sometimes with writers who manage multiple characters. And I've had this problem before, too, when I've tried to do writing, and the manager definitely has shared that problem as well. You have multiple characters, sometimes you forget that they're supposed to be in the scene, and you're like, oh, whoops, can't really do anything now. Oh, hey, that's a very peculiar beep. You want to count the number of times you hear that peculiar beep. It means something special. I'm pretty sure I didn't explain it in the last video, but, well, you'll see. Take a note at the true ending flags. And now notice how they changed. If you get 10 of them by the time you reach the end game, something cool happens. Huh. It already got dark outside? Just how much time were we— oh, okay, so it wasn't dark. Oh well. Akihabara at night with time was beautiful. It was lit up unlike anything I've ever seen. Did you enjoy your little date? I wouldn't really call it a date. I was just joking, Rook. No need to repeat it, now I'm embarrassed. Kid was talking about me behind my back? That's new. Joshua seems like he's not really familiar with how people act. I made a joke, that's all it was, about you wanting to woo Jade. I'm sorry for doing that, it was rude. Funny. Jade wouldn't have any of that. She's far more interested in quantum mechanics. I let Keela know this wasn't my objective. Regardless, it made me laugh. We bonded, or whatever you want to call it. That is, until something came up. Oh, Rook, you socially awkward man. Something came up. I didn't want to interrupt you two. We had no idea what you may have been doing, but I got a call. I'm gonna slap you in a couple seconds. We're going to the hotel. A call? Wait, that's not so weird. Did I just hear him say he bonded with Keela? I noticed they're both holding takeout bags. No way, they got food without me? I can't explain the specifics right now, but it involves your safety, both of you. So I need to take you to your hotel. Yeah, it all seemed very important. We discussed it over some dinner. Without me. Damn, I'm hungry. Good news though, we're really close. It's just a short walk away. Make sure to book a convenient location. I'll tell you a little more tomorrow, but right now safety is priority. I take his word for it and try not to object. A lecture from Rook is not what I want right now. He starts to lead us down the street. It doesn't take much longer until we get to the hotel. Well, this is it. I hope you enjoy your stay. Your room is 217. Here are your key cards. It shouldn't be too hard to find. He hands us both our key cards. Wow, this place is massive. What kind of amenities does it have? Well, you each have your own beds. There's a hot tub, a bed, you mentioned a bed, and a shower. You even get your own masseur. A personal masseur? Wow, I could go for a massage. This is crazy. I feel like a millionaire. I wonder who else is staying here. If this is a hotel where contest winners stay, there must be all sorts of celebrities present. Look, there's my cherished strawberry. I hope you two enjoy it. You have no idea how much it costs. Not too much, I hope. It costs an arm, a leg, a tail, and some ears. Wait, I wonder if they say that, like, humans say, humans say an arm and a leg, but, Like, in that world, would they say, like, you know, oh, it costs an arm and a leg and a tail, too? I'll come to get you in the morning, and if that's not me, it'll be Jade. You'll get to meet more of the team, plus you'll experience backstage life. There's lots of food, just so you know. Food? Yes, finally. My friend, it's not like room service doesn't exist. I'm pretty sure the tour will foot the bill for whatever you order. Keela excitedly runs to the hotel room doors. I decided to give chase. I wouldn't want to get lost. But before I can catch up, Rook decides to stop me. Hey, hold up a second. I swiftly turned around to face him in the eyes. This is our first time making any real eye contact. And for a moment, I sensed sadness with him and see his beautiful green... I mean, those are really nice green eyes, like... I'm sorry for being a jerk to you. I know you're thinking it in your head. Everyone else is too, I can tell. I know I've wronged you a lot today, even if you aren't strong enough to say so. I can feel something inside me saying, I really don't think you're strong enough. I'm telling you, my reference game is on fire today. Where's this coming from? But you know, we have a lot in common, so I feel like I can confide in you. This is awkward, I know, but hear me out. A lot of the stuff I say, I'm joking. Oh, here comes the piano music. But apparently they're only funny to me. I end up offending or judging everyone else. Saving it to my gallery for personal reasons. That much was clear already. I just hope that Jade doesn't become like this, especially since Rook was teaching her humor. I just wish I was understood. Half the time I have to bite my tongue. I'm scared I'll hurt people. I don't want to get hate for just talking. Half the time I'm just speaking my mind. It makes me scared in everything I say. A world where you're scared to speak? It's a lonely one, I can say that much. That's why I use my tablet so much. It can be alone, yet with others. I can bite my tongue before it's too late. It gives me a filter, if that makes sense. And you know, this wasn't always the case. He stares at me like I've done something horribly wrong, but as far as I can tell, I didn't. This outburst is all on him. He pulls out his phone and starts typing on it. He's texting me? I'm literally standing right here. I pull out my phone and see what he said. Huh? I used to be one of the #1 hosts in Akihabara. I worked in a maid cafe. That's right, don't laugh. Rook used to work at a maid cafe. That's bizarre. I stare at him directly in the eyes with a serious look. I want him to know I'm handling this with respect. He nods and starts typing on his phone again. But I lost someone close to me. And that just changes your outlook in life, you know. Someone close to him died. I wonder who that could have been. I maintained my eye contact with him. After a few moments, his eyes well up. When they died, one of the most cheerful hosts in all of Japan turned into a cynical, withdrawn jerk. And suddenly the character arc makes sense. So he's saying he didn't always act like this. He must have lost someone very important, to impact his personality so much. And you're looking at him. He shuffles awkwardly as he sends his next message. Don't worry, Rook, at this point I'm used to people shuffling awkwardly in place. Not gonna name any names, damn it, but... I really didn't expect any of this, but it makes sense. Now I know why he hates maid cafes, it's so clear. Good thing we didn't go to one earlier today. You're so stupid. Huh? No idea how you got me to open up, but I swear if you tell anyone else, well, that'll be the end of you. He's blaming me? Somehow that feels like an extremely Rook thing to do. I hate you. He closes his eyes and tilts his head upwards, and suddenly I realize he wasn't talking to me. Was he talking to himself? Perhaps, but I think I have an idea, but I'm not gonna spoil it just yet. You can't- oh, here comes the sad music. You can't just stop running your mouth, even at the most inappropriate times. You should have stayed a worthless hikikomori. He starts crying now, his eyes glistening, not just a tear, but a veritable fountain of them. What do I say? Sometimes silence is a valid option. I'm gonna do the Fortem option and comfort the man. Rook is shocked and confused. I decide to be candid with Rook. I tell him I like him. I mean, I know there's a good person deep inside. He just has to find them and let them out. I can tell he's having an episode of depression. Sometimes we shut out the world when we're depressed by either isolating yourself or pushing friends away. He's clearly been trying to push us away, while wasting all of his time on his tablet. A hikikomori is a Japanese term for a shut-in. They want nothing to do with society. Oftentimes they live on junk food and surf the web. I knew his judging was a symptom of a deeper issue. I want to help him, not see him suffer like this. He's having trouble with the loss of a loved one. We've all been there, or at least, we will be. The latter is a more terrifying thought than the former, but it's something we'd all face during our lives. Rook lets out a soft smile before he continues talking. That's the last thing I expected to hear. Normally people would just walk away from me. I haven't had somebody stay and listen, let alone say something positive about me. Most people just harp on me for being on the tablet. They tell me I'm wasting my time, you know. Thanks for saying what you did, though. I might have taken it the wrong way, or perhaps your intent was different, but thank you. It was still very kind. Haven't smiled like this in a while. He takes a few deep breaths before calming down. It was awfully impulsive of him to open up like this. Thank you for listening to me regardless, but I guess we need a few ground rules now, so listen close. Your life is on the line. Tell anyone what happened, and I will end you. Never mention this. I have eyes and ears everywhere, got it? There we go. Back to our regularly scheduled Rook. He seems so concerned about his public image. In fact, he's willing to threaten me over it? I know there aren't legitimate threats, however. Please, go on and enjoy your hotel. Don't let my sob story bring you down. And it certainly helped me. Venting, I mean. And you know what? I kind of like you too. I admire your ability to listen to people. Oh, there's that beep. Without saying another word, he slowly walks away. He taps on his away on his tablet like usual. Just what is going on there all the time? We'll find out in the next episode of Speed Racer. Maybe. I mean, we'll find out. There's more to the tablet than him being your typical techno nerd. You know, I only care about online people. It's a little bit deeper than that. It has to do with the story that he told us. Hashtag spoiler. Well, that doesn't really be a spoiler, but anyways. A little worried and anxious about what happened, but all my worry is washed away as I enter the room. Would you like to save your game? Yes. Yes, I would. Oh, yep, we got 2. We got 2! It looks amazing on the inside. It's the biggest hotel room I've ever seen. This place is huge! If you pictured a fancy Japanese hotel, this is exactly what would be in your head. It even has a kotatsu. Not that I'm cold or anything, but at least they're prepared for it all. I must have been checking it out while I was outside. I guess he got a little head start and everything. I already had a soak in a hot tub. You people do things really fast around here. I would imagine somebody with a bunch of fur, you know, it would take a while to soak in a hot tub, relax. Like the conversation... Anyways. I'm going on a tangent. I can't get over how great this place is. It's top tier, that's for sure. Let's turn on the TV and see what's on. I love weird Japanese game ship. Excuse me, I've been drinking a lot of coffee this morning. He scurries over to the table and grabs the remote. For a moment, he looks confused. I guess the buttons on the remote are in Japanese. I see him find a big red button and press it. Sure enough, the TV turns on. I suppose some things are universal between cultures. He sits on the floor and motions for me to join. It seems like there's a big news report going on. I see a crime scene tape, then I look at the time. Now I know what's going on. Another midnight death? A news reporter appears on the screen. He seems distraught, maybe even scared. Fukumoto here, reporting live from Tokyo. I have some distressing news. Give me a moment here. Confirming. He looks off the screen for a few moments and nods. It's as if he's talking to somebody on the scene. He holds a microphone away from himself. Whatever he's talking about must be unsafe to hear. Sorry, it'll just take a while longer. I'm sorry for interrupting your program. It will resume as soon as this is over. He looks away from the camera again. Same direction. This Fukumoto wears a face of shock all of a sudden. It's like he's been given horrible news. It's now being confirmed to me. Another victim of the midnight deaths. Their body was discovered just moments ago. He lets out an audible gulp before continuing. I'm not sure how to go about saying this, but it's with a heavy heart that I... Heavy heart? Oh no, this must not be an ordinary victim. He cuts himself off, taking a gulp before he continues. It's Klace, the pop idol. Recently in Tokyo to launch his new tour, but now a victim of these senseless deaths. What? Yeah, that's right. Klace gets iced before you even get to meet him. That's like... That was always my whole thing. Like, everybody's always like, oh my god, Klace is so egotistical. He put himself as a pop idol in this game, and then he kills himself. Literally. I mean, Klace in the game didn't kill himself, but Klace, the maker, killed himself in the game. If that makes sense. This is why you don't name your character after yourself. You can ask the manager. The manager often goes by Nico online, and he has a, you know, then there's Nico in this channel. It gets confusing. I'm gonna stop though, because we're close to you're close to edging on fourth dimensional non-sensory, and I'd rather not go that route. Wait, what's happening? Oh, We're back on the... Meanwhile, in a... I don't know. I kind of just ruined that. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away... There we go, we'll just go with that reference. At earlier time, the throne of Velasquez, the immortal king. History repeats itself. At least that's what they say, right? We make our mistakes and learn from them. I cannot say, my lord. I am merely mortal. I live a short life with many mistakes. I'll be gone before history can repeat. But you have the wisdom of a millennia. Something I'm not lucky enough to hold. Were it a statement, I would agree. But you posed a question. And one I have no right to answer. He has nice eyes, the Velasquez. There's no need to apologize. I was simply thinking aloud. Though it may relate to Player somewhat. He's gaining quite the following. Rightly so. He has the charisma, enough to bend anyone to his will, even if the cause is as foolish as his. Yes, what a foolish cause it is. The last time someone sought severance, well, the only thing that severed was their head. It's a costly and dangerous desire. Just a joke, of course. Though, I forgot about your career. I'll try not to joke about assassinations. How's your protégé coming along? You mean Conrad? He's conflicted. Sometimes he thinks our methods are harsh. Perhaps he might even think... Hold on a second. Mouse is being defined. Perhaps he might even think they are wrong. But I was the same. I'd give it time, my lord. He'll become someone of great importance. Very well. I trust in the both of you. You will expose Lord Terra quite swiftly, and so my reign will go unhindered. Of course, my lord. Though Player is not the topic of today, there is a matter of much greater importance. Is something wrong, my lord? No. It's the opposite, in fact. My opening of Terra to immigrants, this is for a very specific reason. There are those who would disagree with me, and I would as well if I were unaware. The truth of the matter is quite secretive. Truth? You weren't doing this for charity? It's a welcome side effect, to be honest, but my intent wasn't to take in so many. I only sought the arrival of one person. The Savior. What? The Savior? Yes. I opened our borders solely for them, but so far they have not come. And what might we need saving from? It cannot be a lack of resources. Lord Player's fooling everyone with that. Indeed, it is not. But my lips are sealed. Only know that they are needed urgently. Okay, look, you gotta explain your plans to people. I mean, this is how, like, Warhammer 40,000 happened, right? The God Emperor of Mankind is all like, I'm not gonna tell my sons anything, and then they're gonna distrust me and be susceptible to the influence of chaos, because give me a Warhammer game where chaos isn't the ultimate bad guy at the end of everything. I will require your help, however. I've learned of something recently, a method that may expedite their arrival. I'm all ears, my lord. I finally pinpointed their location. A trusted source has found the Savior. They reside on a planet called Earth. I've never heard of it. For a very specific reason, Indy, my own. Earth is not connected to any other world. It's what I call an untouched planet. Such a thing exists? Only when you have something to hide, or in this case, something to shelter. How can I help? It seems Earth is beyond anyone's reach. I'm happy to assist, but I seem unable to. Gladly. That is not the case. That trusted source I mentioned earlier, I wonder who that could be. They've come up with a means to reach Earth. A means to retrieve the Savior. Retrieve, my lord? Yes, like a thief in the night. And this task will fall solely to you. There's no one else I can trust. I am honored. What must be done? You must perform a ritual. So, they've been yanking people from Earth trying to get us. Ooh. Or have they? Keela and I remain frozen in fear. We watch in horror as the TV displays a gruesome image. We see a body bag being loaded into an ambulance. It drives away without a siren wailing. I wonder how he had himself killed. Like, was he hung? Did he get shot? Did he get knifed? Like, you know. A lot of personal venting of self-hatred there. We are getting deep into... Tune in next time when we go over the philosophy of Major Minor and how Klace having himself murdered, it's symbolic for him wanting to kill his old self and replace it with a new self. I'm just kidding. We're not going there. There are philosophical meanderings in this game, but I don't think he meant for that one. That means no, it can't be. It just can't. Suddenly everything seems to come crashing down. There'd be no more world tour. Would he be sent back home? Would he become sort of meeting hotshots? Kayla's jaw appears inches from the floor. I can tell he's fighting off tears with fervent effort. He seems to be unable to form a coherent sentence. I reach out to comfort him, man. I can't move. I know this feeling by now. I've experienced it several times today. You only experienced it twice, my dude. On the train right here. I'm about to be visited. By him. Sup, home dog? It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Life is such a frail force, while death is infinitely more powerful. Some would hope it's the other way around. To watch your world fade away, like a small fly being swatted on the wall. Just like that, someone can die. No one is above death, just as no one is below life. So to all you in the audience, don't you forget about dying. Don't you forget about... Okay, I gotta calm myself here. I just need to... The line was, don't you forget about dying, don't forget about your friend death. That's from a Ghost song. If you haven't listened to Ghost, you should. It's awesome Titanic Swedish rock. And that sentence sounds weird, but trust me on this. Just as no one is below life. I've had enough of his cryptic speeches. I deserve some answers, and I make that very clear. Thankfully, I'm able to move and speak again. You want answers? What is an answer exactly? No, you're not Socrates, alright? Like... You don't answer a question with more questions. What is an answer exactly? A doorway to more questions, perhaps? I mean, he is kind of right. Sometimes you get an answer and it leads to more questions. It's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's. You get an answer and you think it's right. And I told myself I'd watch myself with the references. Now he's just getting pretentious. But I sense some nervousness. Is he worried about something? Like he's trying to stall. Well, I did promise you answers, but I cannot suspend this place for long. Please come with me to the Ark. Suspend? You'll have to grab my hand. A connection is required to do this. What about the first time? I spent a moment thinking before acting. Come now, grab my hand. If this suspension ends, you'll be trapped. You don't want to know what happens then. Yeah. Let's do it. I reach out and grab his hand. He seems happy at your compliance. I have no idea what he was planning, but I trusted him, especially if he was going to give me some answers. I couldn't disobey him on the verge of the truth. And to give me a power like he implied he did, he had to trust me as well. This might hurt a little bit. He smirks at me as he snaps his fingers, this time using his free hand. And then, we're in the Ark. Just like that. First and foremost, allow me to apologize. I feel as though you may be overwhelmed. It's not like me to take things so fast. You don't say. But recently matters have become urgent. Furthermore, I will give you answers. I feel like you deserve that much. You were thrust into unusual circumstances. So I welcome you once more to the Ark. A place where you can relax and ponder. A place where you can collect yourself. It's something of a hub world that you can come to whenever you need to. Kind of like Mother Base. Except, well, yeah, Mother Base. I'm just not even going to try anymore. Only a select few are allowed entry here. Those that I trust with my life. Not only that, with the lives of many. And you are the first in a very long time. So you are free to relax. No danger will befall you here, as long as you are by my side. He inches closer to me, as if my safety increases with its proximity. So about these answers you requested. I'm willing to provide you with them, but I'll only answer one question. There are more important matters at hand. I would like it if you thought carefully. I will not be vague or hide the truth, so make sure you ask what you truly want. You deserve it, after what you experienced. But there are far larger issues at hand. I fear the death of Klace is unimportant. Maybe to you, but I wanted his signature on my can of Popstar. Unimportant? Well, that's an insult for sure. Especially when someone just lost their life, but it's probably unwise to vocally contest him. Instead, I stop and think about what I should ask. But one question? That's hardly fair. There's a veritable mountain of them in my mind. Everything about today was an enigma, and much of it fell into the realm of the supernatural. You can't expect me to find closure from one question, unless that was the point. The ability to bend the reality to my will. He's testing me. There had to be a way to get all the answers, and still be able to adhere to his will of one question. If this power was true, I could easily accomplish that. I wonder what that power would be. Jeez. I couldn't imagine. There we go. What should I ask him? You won't always have the ability to ask every question. Oh yeah? What is this power? Yes, the burning question in my mind. Why me? There had to be a better candidate. Surely there were those more studious and capable. And what exactly was it? Where did they come from? Where did this power come from? I don't think that question has an answer. I'm gonna slap you in a moment. And something moves from one host to another. Epoch after epoch. Epoch, whatever. No one knows why. We don't know its origins either. Though yes, I am the current host. I was placed here for containment purposes, in the hope that it spread would stop. But now I'm straying off topic. This power is, well, let me think. I have to word my explanation carefully. We don't want to break the fourth wall after all. There are an infinite number of planes. Each astral plane has many things. It can have similar worlds or different. You could call them parallel realities, so yes, there is more than one Earth, each having differences, small and large, as well as there being multiple arcs, even though it shares Earth's physical spot. I am so lost. Think of it like this. The Earth has one layer, one happy planet. The arc is on another. They both share the same physical spot, but they exist on different astral planes. They cannot see or interact with each other. The layers separate them. But let's focus on the layer you are from. This layer itself has multiple realities. An infinite number of Earths exist here. Each version of the Earth is different, in either small or very large ways. This can be as minor as what you've eaten. Oh, come on! The second time he's done this. This can be as minor as what you've eaten, or as major as the governing superpower. The power that I have given you doesn't really alter reality. You can travel to the world you desire. Some would call you a slider. You can navigate this layer in many ways. Where others are stuck, you are free. A slider. And that is why the power is so dangerous. You could repeatedly destroy other worlds. It can throw the universe in a disarray. This throws off the balance of layers, not only of the layer you live in, but of all the surrounding layers as well. Of course, you only have a fraction of this. I was unable to give you my full power, but now that you're in the Ark, you've broken into another astral plane. There are even more realities to play with, but you're wondering why I chose you. As the power grew within me, it evolved, or perhaps I achieved a greater prowess. It beckoned to be gifted to other people, but not just any other person. I had to choose very carefully. For a moment, let us lessen our scope. I'll focus only on your Earth layer. Push aside everything I've just said. The universe is vast. A large galactic community is at play. There are many trade routes between worlds. Many planets open themselves to immigration. Many planets are hostile. Many planets are friendly. But the heart of the matter is this. Every planet is connected in some way, except for Earth. You inhabit an untouched planet. I hope this doesn't offend you, but if you were to go rogue with that power, only Earth would suffer. Only that layer. I had to choose a resonant of Earth. It would contain any possible damage. Kind of like the Ark does for me. A resonant of any other planet, well, the damage could be substantial. So the Earth is lucky in that regard, but it's also special in its loneliness. I apologize if it didn't make much sense. I'm still learning the correct terms. Planes, realities, universes... But I did not specifically choose you. My goal is to choose an Earthling. I'm happy with my choice, however. I hope that you can master this power. Many worlds will want to seek your aid. We can save them, and their realities. We can guide them away from disaster, guide them towards the true history. And I'm afraid that's all the time I have. So I'm guessing what he's saying is... Because I thought it was just like kind of like space-time. You're just loading your save. But I guess the idea is when you're loading your save, you're sliding to another reality. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Jumping between multiple realities. So I guess it's kind of like the idea of you have all these multiple realities and you find the one reality with the solution to a problem, to what's going on. So basically, each planet has its own... Well, no, he's saying that every planet that's connected shares realities with each other. They're all in the same layer, which would make sense, yeah. So Earth is kind of like alone, it's not connected. It's kind of like, let me put it this way. I think I get what he's saying. It's kind of like a computer virus, right? If a computer virus is only on your laptop, and your laptop isn't connected to your network in your house, only your laptop suffers. But if you're connected to your Wi-Fi network, or Ethernet or whatever, router or whatever, and you get a virus, that virus can spread and destroy other computers and things in your network. So I'm guessing that's kind of what he's saying, essentially. I hope you were satisfied with my answer. Truthfully, it was a little too much to take in, but despite the recent events, I feel relaxed. It was nice to get an honest truth. Before he was vague and dodgy. Now that I've answered your question, we have to discuss the real issue here. Not so fast, my friend. What should I ask him? What is the Arc? I decided to ask him what the Arc is. I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind. There has to be some sort of explanation. Anything to make this place less weird. Interesting choice, but I'm not sure what to say. Hard to explain it in a way you'd understand. I don't mean to belittle your intelligence, it's just a very foreign concept. He takes a few moments to think. I appear to be frozen in space, yet I can move. Not only that, but I can speak in here as well. With everything I've been taught, that's impossible. There's more to Earth than you realize, or the rest of the planets for that matter. Your current understanding is limited. You think about a physical spot as absolute. No two things can exist in the same spot, but this is not the case at all. Many things exist in the same spot as Earth. Right there, existing alongside you. But at the same time, impossible to touch. Kind of reminds me of, I think there's a few things that are like that. Like, I think, in Dungeons and Dragons, you can travel to, like, the astral plane. And the astral plane is kind of, like, there, but not. You're kind of, like... Or was it like that? Or is it like that? Or is it like, I know there's other things that have played with this concept of there's another world. Kind of like the light world and the dark world from Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. The light world and the dark world both occupy the same spot, so to speak, but only certain people who either fall into portals or have certain powers can travel between the light world and the dark world. Haha! There are many worlds that share this space. In fact, there are an infinite number, each inhabiting its own astral plane. Some of these planes are even empty, but that may be home. But many are home to wonderful worlds. The Arc is simply one of these places. Every plane has its own laws. They all work in different ways. Their flow of time is even different. The Arc exists in a very special plane. Normally, a space is devoid of nothingness, but here we can navigate it and speak. It's quite simple, really. Simple, huh? But the Arc is special for another reason. The flow of time here is almost non-existent. Time moves rather fast on Earth. To come to a place like this, well, you'd be near immortal. That's why I've made the Arc my home. I have all the time in the world here. I'll be able to achieve all my goals. That, and I'm kind of bound here, but it does not touch on your question. And I'm afraid that's all the time I have. I hope you're satisfied with my answer. What should I ask him? Who the bleep are you? I have to know who this man is. It makes most sense to ask this question. He must know who I am since he gave me this power. Yet here I stand with nothing about him. Is he gonna tell me my name? You wanna know, or his name? You wanna know who I am? My, that's a vague question. How do you define an identity? Is it a name? A past? One's act? Oh my god! I'm not. This is not the manager's English classes. They're talking a lot about identity and stories. Well, I mean, identity is a really good theme, but it's just like, you guys playing games with me. More notes for the philosophy of major minor episode. Well, if almost any of those are true, then you have a good idea of who I am. You must be inquiring after a name and perhaps a past, of which you will only learn one. Where do I start? There are many who call the Arc my home. But there are a few who know the real truth. The Arc is my prison. I've been trapped here for... I lost count at 1,000 years. But I've been here way longer than that. Though, if I could be honest with you, it feels like only seconds have passed. Time can lose its importance, you know, especially when you're not victim to it. Back at home, I'll cherish every second, but here, time remains almost frozen. I don't even know what year it is. I can't tell when it's day, nor can I tell when night has come. Yes, this is a method of torture. Temporal deprivation, they called it. I'm able to leave for very short periods, but even this is another method of torture. A small taste of home, brutally torn away. I try not to use that power. It only serves to mock what I'm missing. I must be boring you with this tale of woe. Allow me to explain more relevant things. You might wonder why this is my prison. Well, I inherited substantial power, far more than anyone would call normal. In fact, I'm a threat to the universe. However, you did not ask about this power. I feel I've shared enough about myself. And I'm afraid that's all the time I have. What should I ask him? How little do you know, I played the game the way I was supposed to play it. What are the Midnight Deaths? He had to know what the Midnight Deaths were. Someone like him just had to. It made sense. He must know all manner of weird things. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. I've only heard this term twice. Once as I brought you here, and just now. Someone on the television said it. That Klace was a victim? I was hoping you'd ask about the Ark, or at the very least about myself. I'll have to direct this question to you. Just what are the Midnight Deaths? I give him a quick recap of what I was told earlier. People are dying at midnight under mysterious terms. No one knows the cause, or just what's going on. That is definitely rather peculiar. Sounds like a serial killer to me. There's definitely a pattern present in Klace. That's a huge target, no? I wonder if that was their endgame. Maybe the other killings were a test. That's chilling to think about. Sorry for painting that picture, it was just a logical deduction. Yeah, that got kind of dark. I let him know about Jade's theory, how alternative realities may be colliding with our own, and in doing so, overriding our reality. Perhaps he'd know more about that concept. Colliding realities? I doubt it. Murders would be insignificant then, especially in the face of what come next. Realities colliding? The redirection would be cataclysmic. Nothing would be kept in check. Pure chaos. It's a good theory, with consistency. But from my vantage point, it's incorrect. Whatever the cause of these deaths are, it has nothing to do with any collisions. If anything, it would be me or you, using our powers to manipulate reality. It would be easy to leave no tracks behind. But I am bound here to the Ark, and trust me, you're no murderer. But this woman you mentioned, Jade? I would like to meet her one day. She seems interesting, to say the least. But that's a topic for another day. And I'm afraid that's all the time I have. So, interestingly enough, he only mentions sliding and realities like that when you ask him what the power is. So, I'm wondering if that is the case or not. Because remember, it's been a while since I played this all the way through, so you know, I'm kind of getting a refresher here alongside anyone else who's getting a refresher like the manager. I hope you're satisfied with my answer. Yes, I was very satisfied with your answers, my friend. Truthfully, it was a little much to take in, but in spite of recent events, I feel relaxed. It was nice to get the honest truth. Before now, he was vague and dodgy. Now that I've answered your question, we have to discuss the real issue here. The reason why I brought you to the Ark? It's quite simple, really. Another world wants to take you, by means of an ominous ritual. They've been trying to summon you for days. I think they can sense the power I gave you. I've been able to intercept them, however. That's why you've been brought to the Ark. I shift your trajectory and take you here. This is so I can try and learn their intent. You wouldn't want your power to be abused. I've even sent them random Earthlings. It takes a lot of power to bring you here. I need to foil them with other methods. I don't want them to take you, at least not telling you why. Does this make sense to you at all? Barely. If you and the power were to be abused, it could throw the universe into disarray. I don't want that to happen again. Last time it happened should be the last. Ooh. What was the last time? That makes sense. He takes a look at his surroundings. I see a hint of regret and remorse on his face. Jade would be in heaven right now with all this stuff. But the more I interrupt their ritual, the more I realize I'll never know. I can't figure out why they want you. So this time, I'll let them succeed. I wanted to keep you on Earth, for observation purposes, of course. But now that will not be possible. Many worlds are going to want you. Your power can save or destroy them. You'll be caught up in many affairs. We must hope they seek your power for good. Many would want to use it to nefarious ends. Perhaps after helping this world, we can do good for other worlds as well. Wait, he's sending me to another world? Just like that? That's not right. Am I even able to survive on another planet? His explanation only puts more questions in my mind. Don't worry, I'll still watch over you. If anything traumatic happens, just relax. All you have to do is push the... I forgot what the button was to summon the... Was it the Watcher or whatever from Darksiders? There's that like that demon that gets bound to you and he kind of like watches over what you're doing. I'll bring you back in the face of danger. Remember, you're cared for. I will not any harm befall you. I consider you a ray of hope, my agent of fate. Without another word, he snaps his fingers loudly, and I feel a rush of inertia. We're going light speed, boys. This isn't right. Nothing about this is right. I am finally pushed over the edge and I start to panic. Klace was dead. I was cursed with a power I didn't ask for. I never asked for this. I had to. A power that could save or destroy worlds. This is madness. Before I continue, my entire body feels pain like the first time I was here on a much larger scale. I try to focus my breathing, but even that causes more pain than I can handle. It feels like a paper cut, but on every fiber of my being. I'm getting torn apart at a level less than molecular. But then, shortly after, I feel nothing. And I find myself in a blurry forest. I'm quickly thrown against a nearby tree, like I was traveling incredibly fast. I land on the ground and grip my head in pain. The pain radiates harshly with my heartbeat, which is to say the least, was incredibly fast. I lost track of time, but eventually it subsided. As I'm lucid again, I quickly examine my surroundings. It feels like everything is moving faster than normal. The swaying leaves look as if they're in a hurricane, but my perception of time quickly returns to normal. That was odd. It's like when you look at a clock. Sometimes the second hand moves faster for a moment. I take a few steps around but can't find any balance. I quickly stumble over and brace myself on a tree. What's going on? It feels like I'm drugged. I fall on my knees, embracing the tree, otherwise I'd be eating a face full of grass. I start to wonder just where I've ended up, but I can only think of where I'm not. Something tells me I'm a long way from home. Thousands of miles from home. The anxiety of that fact completely overpowers me. Any semblance of curiosity I had was utterly destroyed. I soak in some sort of otherworldly homesickness. Here I am, stuck on the soil of a foreign planet. Decided to be brought back in the event of trauma. Was this experience not traumatic enough? And what if something traumatic doesn't happen? Will I ever see Earth again? Will I ever experience the aftermath of Klace's death? Those weren't the type of things I wanted to see, but it was definitely my right to see them. I feel like this arc has robbed me blind of my future. What if I don't want this power? Okay, I'm just gonna start clicking through. What else will we forced to do? Will I ever truly be myself again? You'll go back to where you came from. Why, hello there. Huh? I know what it's like to be far from home, and this may be the farthest you'll ever be. But you'll get back, I know it. He kneels down beside me and wraps an arm around me. He rests a hand under my arm and lifts me up slowly. It's very easy to lose your way, especially when others want to use you. They put their own path before your own. He holds me up and I limp alongside him. Who is he? Is this the guy that was conducting the ritual? If so, I don't sense any nefarious intent. He seems very wise. He's put me at ease. Just like the man in the ark. I feel my desperation brought you here. Perhaps some of that despair assaulted you. If that's so, then I apologize. Your burden should be yours alone to carry. The journey that brought you to Terra was not an easy one to complete. It was filled with failure and compromise. Terra. Is that where I am? Conrad. It worked. Is that so? How can you tell? It's not like we had an artist's depiction. I know this is the one. And how do you know that, Indy-Mion? I can feel it. Just trust me. Alright, I'll play along. King Velazquez will be very pleased. I feel like I'm finally able to stand on my own. I gently push aside this Indy-Mion in a polite manner. I explain my situation. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know who they are, or what this king is. Very well. You deserve an explanation. At least the best I'm able to provide. This is Terra. It's a peaceful world. In fact, we haven't had a war for centuries. This is thanks to the immortal king. He's ensured that Terra is a utopia. But unfortunately, that attracts people. There's so many that want to come here. They're victim to our kindness and charity. Back it up a second. Immortal king? Yeah, he's got lucky. He managed to find a world that suits him. It's a complicated thing, the flow of time. Immortality isn't something I'd want, but I guess it works for him. He's able to get lots of stuff done. Every world experiences time differently. Many worlds are in sync or very close, but if you find that one special world, the one where time flows differs vastly, well, let's put it this way. You might be lucky enough to live forever, or you just shrivel and die of old age. Our King Velazquez, he found Terra, a world where time flows slowly to him. This is why he's been able to live so long. Well, I think Indy is trying to say, it's a good thing you're not dead right now. Your road must flow similarly to Terra. But I guess that's a trade-off. Some people might enjoy a shorter life, especially on Terra where it's safe. It's true. A day of happiness could be desirable. Over a life of war in another world, I mean. World travel is very risky in that regard. Fortunately for you, you're safe, along with those that came instead of you. Instead of me. We tried to bring you here many times. We also failed to bring you here many times, meaning we've brought over the wrong person. We had to continue trying, though. Velazquez was very eager to get you here. Made sure we did the ritual every day, but not just every day. We had to do it at the same time as well. Same time every day, huh? That sounds familiar. Don't worry. The others are safe. We gave them to one of the local lords. He helped them immigrate in Terra properly. Well, let's not jump to the conclusion. That lord is known as Lord Player. He has an open hatred for immigrants, so we can't really speak for their safety. He could have killed them for all we know. Conrad, don't be so daft. Either way, Lord Player has the others. He's running for mayor and winning. And Mayor is a step below king, so Velasquez now sees him as a valid threat. I guess that's where we come in. We're part of why Terra is so peaceful. We're a private unit funded by Velasquez. We do the things he can't publicly do. Well, I guess you'd call it dirty work. But no one is supposed to know that. He shouldn't speak so openly, Conrad. It seems he's annoying. Yeah, whatever. We're the Assassin's Guild. We have 2 members, student and teacher. The rule of 2. And a student, of course. Velasquez wants us to ruin Player. We're supposed to destroy his campaign. Terra isn't ready for a new ruler just yet. They'd throw the world into disarray, but Player is getting close to the throne. Especially among those who hate immigrants. Action needs to be taken so he doesn't win. Wait, back up a second. Elections? Immigration? Smear campaigns? Am I sure I'm not on Earth right now? And suddenly I don't think I can trust these two, at least not fully. They seem like bad guys? Either way, I've heard enough about politics for now. I had a huge list of questions that needed answering. For example, why I was brought here. Oh, so you still have questions. And we still have a long way to go. It seems like these benefit one another. Follow us. We'll explain on the way. If the walking is too much, let me know. We can always stop and rest if you need it. The long road ahead. Got enough straps there, my friend? Look at this. Look at Conrad. Like, looks like a Final Fantasy character. They start to lead me down what appears to be a long trail. I seem to know enough about Terra, but not why I'm here. Why did they want to teach people politics? I can't believe I was brought here for that. They must have been only thinking from their angle. It makes sense. They did go through a lot to get me. Just keep up the pace. Making and talking. Walking and talking will have to do. You're on a strict schedule, you know. King Velasquez wants you by nightfall. That is, on the day the ritual succeeds. I get the feeling that they don't care. I don't think they want to know the what. I think they want to know the why. Isn't that right? I nod furiously. Well, King Velasquez calls you the savior. Apparently Terra needs saving, but I couldn't tell you from what. You're secretive on the matter as well. I just know that he wants you. Along with the fact that you're important. He foresees threats like this all the time. So I trust him completely. You're important. Velasquez says history repeats itself. One day he'll agree, another he won't. He flip-flops on a semi-daily basis, but I guess when you're as old as him, you can start to see patterns and things. But there's no pattern with you. He's never sought help from another world. I guess you're an unknown variant, but I guess sometimes that's what we need. Correct. You're a mystery to me too. You don't tell me what power you hold, nor what you would be saving us from. So if that's what you want to know, roughly, I must plead ignorance. I'm a savior? That's outrageous. I can't even do anything to save Klace. Hey, savior, did you catch the hint? Andy Mine wants to know what makes you tick. Wants to know why you're so special. I mean, we did dedicate our lives to you. We deserve to know the reason why. Conrad, don't be so demanding. And don't read into my words like that. Huh. I guess we're both on the same page. We're both on quests, and we don't know the reason why. We both know him as savior, but nothing else. We just have to get answers from this king. I'm not sure they know about the Ark, though. Is Conrad hinting I should tell them my power? It might not be an idea to gain their... I urge you not to tell us. Oh. If we need to know, we'd know. Velasquez wouldn't hide it from us. It's something we can wait to learn. You're here for a noble cause. That's something I can guarantee. And that's all I need to know. Do you have anything else to ask? If it's something I can answer, I will. I stop and ponder. What else do I need to know? Seems like they know just as much as I do, though I'm glad they don't push me for information. I'm not sure that man would want me revealing my power. I know where I am, I know who these men are, I know where they're headed. I guess that should be enough for now. The majority of the questions were about Earth. What happened to... Shouldn't be much farther now, we're making good time. Oh, Andy Mine, the form. We should probably fill that out now. Right. Form? This is a standard immigration form. Everybody new to Terra must fill that out. It helps keep track of numbers, but also gauges your personality. It can help you find a suitable job. Not that you'll be needing a job. We know you won't be here permanently, but we can't give you any special treatment. To everyone else, you must be an immigrant. You've come here to start your life anew. We cannot advertise who you really are. If the Lord Player was here with us, well, he'd expect the papers immediately. This is starting to sound more and more like Earth. Perhaps I'm not as homesick as I was earlier. Joshua. Nicholas. Off to a good start. We know your name. For the rest, we need just answer honestly or not. I guess it's your choice. I know it seems silly, but laws are laws. Also beats an awkward silence, especially since we're on a long way from town. Yes. Okay, now, normally I would continue on, but we have been going for a while now. So, because obviously you can see that playtime isn't very much off from... It's pretty off, actually. We're not an hour and 45 into this game because, well, I did a little bending of my own, as you may have noticed by this point. So, we'll just have to see what we see on the next time. So... doing a bit of a stretch here. Anyways, yeah, if you like that, remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, smash that bell button, and smash that comment section, and smash that share button, and smash those Smash Bros. Okay, I'm done with the referencing. I seriously am. But yeah, if you'd like to, don't forget, rate, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It does help us out in little ways. We also have our Patreon and our Ko-fi if you want to help support us in that fashion as well, if your little bit helps. I think what I'll do is I'll just be like Mundane Matt and just be, with YouTube attacking alternative media, Patreon is or whatever he does. I don't know. If you don't know who Mundane Matt is, don't worry about it. Something you need to worry yourself with. Or no, I would tell you to turn off that pesky ad block. I would do that. Anyways. Yeah. Rate, comment, subscribe. And if you subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell. Not only will you become a Dazzler, but you become one of our Ringling Dazzlers. Can we get a hashtag Ringling Dazzlers in the comments section? That means you'll be notified when a new episode goes up, because I tend to upload episodes whenever I feel like it. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to beat you guys over the head with. So, my name is Russell Joestar. Thank you for joining me. We will see what these two are up to next time. Take care, everybody. Hello there, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike. Razzle Joestar here, bringing you a tale from the ye old west. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I just kind of started doing it. Besides, this would be a tale from the north, as a Canadian made this game. Welcome to another edition of Major Minor, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike.